The Retro Buzz starts right after this.
Hey guys, it's Friday, so it's time for the Retro Buzz. We got a pretty awesome show today for you with a lot of really cool topics. And back from the baseball diamond, we have my son. He's back. He's ready to talk some retro games.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Daniel Haywood. And you have been getting some experience of going out and game collecting with me, going to
Yeah. I'm having fun with it.
Well, that's good. So we're teaching him right. Now we have from a land far, far away, and wow, you're way out there in.
Listen. You know, I'm a little cross with Mr. P Dubs here. You know, haters going to hate. Well, I'm going to be hating some P Dubs today because I'm up here in orbit, right? I go to the asteroid belt and I practice Asteroids Deluxe, right? I get the leaderboard high score in Asteroids Deluxe. I got a little bit of a cold. I can't go on. And then you go on that last week, and you totally blew all of us off on the leaderboards from the week before. Now, I'm up here. I'm not coming back down until we get recognized for the leaderboards of that week, P-Dubs. What's up with that? You know how much money I had to spend for this Eagle? These things are not cheap.
Well, I think maybe I have to see if P-Dubs calls in later. We also have with us Mr. Douglas Smith, Mr. Cool Toy. And are you doing an unveiling for us later on?
Yeah, sure. I was just going to point out one thing that I can do that Glenn can't do right now since he's up in outer space.
Well, I don't know. He's doing something.
Just drinking water straight out of the canister. Don't have to have some straw.
If you all know me, I don't drink water anyway, so for that part I'm okay. But it's kind of cool being weightless, though. I mean, it is kind of cool. I've been digging it. But there's haters to hate for Mr. P-Dub.
Yeah, so you guys were all wondering where that hat came from that P-Dubs. I thought he was joining like the Insane Clown Posse or, some kind of rap group. But the reality is Glenn's been on his case because, well, man, he left him off the leaderboards for Legends Center.
Yeah. He was scared, man. He was scared that I got the high score. He didn't want to deal with it.
I think you're right.
By chance, Glenn, do you recall what your high score was for anybody out there wondering?
You know what? I'm trying to remember. 46,000 maybe? I don't remember in Deluxe. It's been a while, but you know what? Because I expected to see it on the leaderboard. In the show.
What position?
But it wasn't there.
Were you in first? I think you were in first.
I was in first. Yeah, I was in first. I think first and second. No, the one problem with the Asteroids Deluxe and putting in your name, the controls are different. So I put a wrong name in for my second place. So I'm on twice. But
hey,
I do have the high score P-Dubs.
Capitalizing that leaderboard.
Well, either way, maybe we'll hear from him in post show, maybe not. But we've got some cool topics for you guys today. We want to talk about the Analogue. I don't know. I'm sure we all haven't been living under a rock. And the Analogue, if you guys are not familiar with it, I'm going to pull it up here. You guys can pre-order this bad boy on August 3rd, 8 a.m. Pacific time.
Why did you give him the right date? Now it's going to be harder for us to get.
Well,
tell him the 4th.
Oh, we could do that. All right, so I'll pull it down here so you can't see. $199. It's going to come with a 3.5-inch, 615 PPI LCD with a 1600 by 1440 resolution, and it has 10 times the resolution, Glenn, of the original Game Boy. Now this
That's not hard to do.
No, but this is compatible with 2,780 plus Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance game cartridges. Plus, they added the ability.
Plus is what I'm interested in.
Right. So why don't you talk about the plus with the additional pieces that you can add to it?
Well, we've been talking about this thing for, not this thing, but just fully programmable gate array technology, because we all agree that eventually these original machines are going to break. So this is not an emulation machine. This is actually recreating the hardware with gate array technology. So this thing will be literally like you're playing the original hardware. Now, what's cool about it is they're going to have a connector on this where you can start adding cartridges for different systems, like the Atari Lynx, the Game Gear. I think there's the Neo Geo Mini. Not the Mini, the Neo Geo Pocket. So that's cool. So you're not playing it emulated where it may slow down or not be correct. It's going to be cycle accurate gameplay for these machines. Now those, the Lynx, the Game Gear, and the Neo Geo Pocket will be additional, I think like $20, $25 for the cartridges on them. And they also have a dock, so you can add a dock so you can put on your regular screen. So this thing is definitely going on sale on the 5th of August at 6 p.m. Okay, guaranteed. I have to get 5. I gotta get my 5.
You need enough time to get out of orbit to get it, right?
I was about to say, I don't know what your Wi-Fi signal is.
I can't come back until P-Dubs corrects what he did. He wronged all of us on the leaderboards for that week. Come on. Although I had the Starlink system up here from Elon Musk, so I can always hop into that internet and get on August 5th at 6 p.m. when it goes live.
So Doug, what's your thoughts? Are you planning on pre-order? If you haven't already, are you planning on pre-ordering it?
Yeah, it's one of those things where 100% I don't need this, but I 100% want this. It's too well designed. It's too sexy, in my opinion. I mean, you look at the thing; it's a wonderful work of art. It's got that super high resolution screen, has the abilities to play tons and tons and tons of different games. It's not emulation; it's FPGA. So, I got a stack of old Game Boy cartridges and Game Boy Color cartridges that I would love to dust off that I haven't played the actual carts in a long time because I've been emulating them, and I would just absolutely love to brush them off, get them off the game shelf, so to speak, and give it another whirl and experience them in the glorious HD on the screen. I'm very excited for this thing. $200 is a little steep, but for all the capabilities, I think it's a worthwhile price.
Well,
I actually don't think $200's bad for the console, because that screen looks gorgeous. Not quite as gorgeous as my view here, but I think it's not bad.
I was gonna say, where did you go?
Where you just spun the camera around?
I don't see you
I'm
on it.
out of the Oort cloud right now because I'm literally annoyed. I want to get P-Dubs a little cold, getting me infected, so I can't do my show. So
But here's something we didn't talk about with this is the fact that it's not only is it a game station, but it's also a digital audio workstation with a built-in synthesizer and sequencer. What do you guys think about that? That's kind of like polar opposites.
Well, there's a couple of groups, and I'm struggling to think of their names, but they actually use chiptune Game Boy sets as like their musical device and will play full-fledged chiptune concerts, and they sound freaking amazing. There's like this whole entire niche world out there of people using these old retro systems as musical devices. So I think that's a little what they're catering towards. I'm sure that obviously wasn't one of the original, design plans for this analog pocket. It's just one of those things that somebody said, hey, while you're at it, what are the capabilities of, maybe having some, digitized, synthesized music capabilities? And somebody said, oh, I guess that's probably not too difficult. And then they just kind of threw it in there as a bonus. So it's a cool little niche add-on, but I think there's definitely going to be some super talented folks out there that really show you what that capable device can do and play some really neat tunes for it.
See, I even tried to lead people on, Glenn. I tried to tell them that Doug pre-ordered it already so that they would think they missed it in the recording. See, I tried. I'm trying to pick up what you're putting down here.
Yep, I appreciate it. I do appreciate that. But I have to say the other cool thing about this, that since it is an FPGA type of device, the synthesizer thing and these cartridges, there's probably more things they can add to it. I like to see even full like 46 emulation built in there, and they could do it. Start playing 46 games on there. Maybe even PS1 style games on there. So for $200, there's going to be some cool things they can still add to this, which I'm just excited about. I think it's a really neat thing, and it's definitely the next logical step for us in this community, because it's just the fact that the other consoles are going to start break down. And if you think about it, if you buy like a flash cart for your Game Boy or a flash cart for your Lynx, they probably cost around $60 to $80 by itself.
Right.
So you're paying another $100 on top of that, but you're getting a really nice cutting edge system. So that's I think pretty neat.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. Like for Daniel, like his birthday is actually Sunday. He's gonna be 8, and he has a Game Boy Advance, but he plays like Daniel. You play your Switch mostly in portable form. You don't hook it up to your TV. So what do you think about? Is this something that you would want to play some of the older Game Boy, the Game Boy games? Or do you want the individual? Or would you rather the individual systems?
That's a solid
I would-
maybe.
I know.
Actually, rather the individual systems, because there's like more like bigger screen for the TV, than the small.
See, he's spoiled because I told him about the Super Nintendo attachment for the Game Boy, and then you could play it on a big screen. You're not going to be able to do that, I don't think, with this, right? Well, I think it did have an HDMI out, but I don't know.
It does with the dock. You have to
With
buy
the dock, that's
the
what
dock.
it is. You have to buy.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
that I thought was a little steep because that was an additional $100 just for the dock.
Yeah.
So, but that
Didn't know
one I
that.
did think that was a little bit on the steep side for it. But for people like us who have to do videos, you're gonna probably want to have the HDMI output, so you're probably gonna have to bite the bullet and get it. But it is what it is.
Somebody was like, "Oh, we're having a hard time keeping up with Glenn's angles." You know what?
Glenn's angles.
He's changing a lot on here. So, let's go into the next segment. And Glenn, Doug, I'm going to kind of have you preface this before we play this video that you had sent me about the PlayStation.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So there's a new PlayStation historical documentary coming out, due on DVD and Blu-ray September 7th, I do believe. It's called PlayStation Revolution. It is a historical look at why Sony came into the video game world and decided to, throw their hat into the console or the console war, so to speak, that was, being toutedly fought between, Nintendo and Sega for many years. And here comes Sony to throw their hat in the ring and mix things up. But it's got all sorts of great game developer interviews and inside look of the development of the system. Some background about, building these games like, God of War. It's got a great interview with Hideo Kojima, Crash Bandicoot, all sorts of great looks at the makings of this game and what the marketing developing was like for this new system. And it's a really nice little time capsule of just the 90s in general. So it's definitely worth the look. We'll go ahead and check out the trailer.
So apparently, this converted in the converter, Doug. Sorry about that. It converted without audio because there is no audio on that clip. So we'll see what we can do. You have it up on your YouTube, don't you?
I don't have it published on my YouTube, but if you want to watch the trailer and you want to find out more information on it, you can go to Indie PlayStation Movie or from what is it? Yeah, from bedrooms to billions.com, and you can check out pre-order information as far as getting it, and then you can watch the trailer there.
Sorry about that, guys. I literally put it in a little bit ago, and I do see there's no speaker icon on that. Because I thought I had it muted from something else, but it's not muted. So the converter that
I'll
I
give you
used
a
to
pass
rip
since you got a lot of things going on. You got a lot of buttons to push. I'll give you a pass.
well, I think the video converter that I used to download it, like, because you know you can rip it from sites, I think that might have been a one that I shouldn't use. I think it was XConvert. So I'm gonna have to look for a different one. I apologize, guys, for that. But yeah, I think that's gonna be. And when did you say that was coming out?
It comes out September 7th on DVD and Blu-ray, and you can also do a digital download if you want to do that. But I always suggest physical media. It
Yes.
also has some special features on the the DVD and the bonus content that will probably not be available for digital. So definitely go that route just for that alone.
Physical copy. Physical copy. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. I love documentaries. Love them.
Mhm.
So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
And Glenn, you'll be excited to know this company. This is actually the third documentary they've done. Their second one was called The Amiga Years, and it was obviously about the Amiga. And the first one was From Bedrooms to Billions, and it was a look at the UK side of the world when video games were becoming a thing. It's covers from 1979 to like the early 2000s, the entire span of video games as a culture and as a business and what it looked like for the UK. So
Yep, and they do good work. So this will be awesome.
And we got a super chat from Wagner's Tech Show, and he said, what does he say? He said, "Peer character bowling down, saying thank you."
bowing down.
Oh, sorry, bowing down.
It's
It's hard to read
animated.
it.
It's animated.
Yep.
Oh, it's an
Ragnar.
animated.
Ragnar's a great guy. Ragnar's Tech Talk, very good guy. He's a guy who on his channel he does reviews. He also makes the 3D printed arcade boxes you can make for your own joysticks and buttons like that. He's a good guy. So thanks, Wagner. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, really appreciate that from you. And let's pull this back up. So we started a segment last week inadvertently. It just kind of happened. I've been going around, like I said, my son and we've been going around to we call it, what do we call it? The cat pee place.
Yeah. Well, Mom claims it smells like cat pee, but not to me.
So I think the guy has an old cat. I feel bad for him because it does have a bit of a.
He has an old cat. It's not the old man.
It does. No, it does that. But we were going to places like that. There's other retro gaming stores we were going to. We go into Goodwill.
Yeah. The exchange.
I never find anything there. Never.
We found Guitar Heroes. We found a bunch of them, and we go to this vape store. So it's the only time I bring my kid into a vape store. Half the store is a vape, right? It's like a whole area where they have the vape stuff, and then it's all retro games and DVDs and Blu-rays.
Then, another half is a
Cross marketing.
Oh yeah, and there's a pinball on the other side, like he said,
like real pinball.
Real pinball, not. I think he has one virtual pinball. The Simpsons one.
No, that's the Simpsons one is.
That is real. You're right. It's a new table. It's a new Simpsons table. I think it was. He said it was like
probably
$7 or $8 grand. I think.
And then there's like old arcades. Arcade machines that aren't on, so they're probably old or dead or something broken.
So
I go to Alpha Centauri. I went to SETI Alpha 5. I went to Titan. I got nothing.
You didn't find anything?
Nothing.
And they're
the
like.
only thing I find there is lady shoes. I don't care about lady shoes.
They're like $2, $2.99 for some of these games, and we went in there. I think we figured out normally if you get them from another retro game store, you're gonna pay $150, $200 for them. I think we spent $50 in it between the two stores. So we got it. So
very good prices then.
One of them was Crisis 2. One of them was
the limited edition.
The limited edition Crisis 2. So some of those games. But I also did another pickup, and the only reason I say this is a steal of a deal is because of our friend Glenn here. He told me that it was a deal for what I paid for it. So he's back in orbit again.
So I gotta make sure I'm not flying into a satellite over here,
man. There you
go. Gotta make sure
So
I'm going.
This one should have audio. So if not, I'm gonna cry. So I'm going to play the retro pickup that we had for this week. As some of you may or may not know, I have a very extensive retro gaming console collection, as well as some of the brand new modern consoles. But today I want to talk about one of my latest pickups. No, it's not the Sega Genesis, but it was something that was meant to hold Sega over until something better could come along. Hence, the Saturn was born. Now, Sega promised that we were going to get a lot more in the game collection. With shortly over 40 games, it was much to be desired. This console, even though it wasn't really alive long, it started out at $200, then dropped to $99, then it was even dropped down to $30. I managed to score this for $50. Had I known what I know now back then, I wouldn't be paying $50 for this. But talking with Glenn Planamento, he stated these go for about $100 to $120 right now. So I got a steal on this for $50. But not only that, I managed to score a few games. I got NBA Jam TE Complete. Now, it has the updated roster, and like I said, this is complete in this package. It's got the manual inside, which we're going to take a look at here in a second. And cartridge, everything was in really good shape. I just had to put some deoxin on it, to make sure everything played right. But $20, guys, and I know this is going sealed for $300. So this has got to be worth $100 to $150, just even in this package that I have here. So I think I got a good deal. Now, the other two games here I think they were like $10 each, I want to say. If not, they were a little bit under $10. But I got them loose. I'm looking for the actual boxes on eBay. Yeah, I'm going to be one of those guys to buy the box. But I got these for about $10 each. So altogether, with the 32X, I got all three of these games and the system under $100 at my local retro gaming store. I couldn't be happier. And this has been my pickup of the week. All right, guys. So that was the pickup. I thought it was a really good deal for everything under $100.
Oh yeah, I was shocked when you told me how much you paid for that 32X in that condition. Broken ones go for that, and you got to try and fix them, and they come with none of the parts. So that was a very good deal.
Yeah, this is cable. This had the cable and the plug, and I know, Doug, you wanted to correct me on the pricing on the NBA Jam, and that's fine because I wasn't sure. I was looking at eBay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, you got a great deal on it. The NBA Jam, it's one of those things, like, value is subjective. You might find somebody that's going to pay $100 some odd for a complete one, but I think it's probably closer to retail $60-$70 for a complete inbox. But overall, your games, the loose games, and the console itself, you got a heck of a deal. That $50 is well below the current market asking price, which is it's funny because when they were putting out the 32X and it ended up being a failure in America, that's exactly what I paid for it, because I bought it on clearance from a KB toy store. Was $49. That was like their blowout price. And then now you see
that was the Taco Bell price.
Yeah, and then now you see the broken ones going on eBay for $75. So it's funny to see this all kind of come full circle for collectors, and that really kind of shows you where the retro gaming market is going, because everything is literally going up and up and up and up and up.
So to be fair, and Glenn, this is what I wanted to ask you. I ordered another piece because, again, I never had the 32X growing up. I wasn't sure. I have it hooked up HDMI, and I'll get to my son's reaction when I put it on. But I also ordered this. This is the little, I paid $30 for this. This goes in the bottom where the CD connects to it. And they say these are rare and hard to find, which is why, another reason why I bought it. I don't think I'll put it in. But they claim that this prevents certain Genesis from having bugs with certain 32Xs. So I wanted to know what your understanding is of this to better educate some folks.
Well, I've heard of it, but I've never seen anyone have an issue. I've not known anyone who's had an issue. But then again, a lot of people really didn't have 32Xs back then. So it's very possible that there were issues. Now I have two Sega Genesis Model 1s. I actually admit I went to Soper, etc. back in the day, and I sold my original launch day one because they really ticked me off with the 32X and the Sega CD. I kept my CD. It was a Model 1 CD. I did keep that. So I got two other ones. But I'm a 32X. I never seen any bug or issue. But maybe it's for a Model 2 or the Model 3. I don't know. I've never seen anyone have a problem with it, so I can't really speak to it.
What about you, Doug? Have you ever seen that piece? I'd never seen it before. I was just researching the 32X to get that information for that. But did you ever see that piece?
I personally haven't. I was one of those oddball kids that didn't ever fall into the Sega CD territory. Like I had friends that had it, and I played vicariously through theirs. I never purposely purchased the Sega CD add-on. I had the 32X. I had a Sega Model 1, and then I had tons of games for both systems, and then I got the Sega Saturn. But for whatever reason, I just never went down the CD path.
This is for
because I couldn't find it.
This is for the 32X, though. This is not for the Sega
CD. Didn't you say it was for like compatibility for
32X games on the Sega Saturn?
Gotcha.
That's why I thought it was kind of weird.
No.
Yeah,
I don't have a clue on that one because I remember doing like the crazy Tower of Power where I put my 32X and like my Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, and then I put the game on top of that, and I had this massive stack, this tall coming out of the Sega Genesis, and I never had that accessory, so that's completely news to me.
Yeah, Sean Powers.
I'd say it wasn't needed for somebody, but I just never saw it. Yes, Sean Powers also said never had a problem. Never had a problem.
Yeah, he never had a problem, and I got it working. I used some Deoxit. That's my secret spray that I put on everything. I use it for my slider.
Don't make it a secret. Deoxit's the best stuff. Everyone, you have a retro console, you should buy that stuff. It is the best stuff to use for cleaning up your stuff. The best.
Yeah, that you can put it on your Nintendo games. You'll never blow in them again. And you don't have to spray it inside the console. If you put it on there and leave a little glaze of it still on your game, it'll get into the console. You'll never blow on it ever again. You'll put them in. They work great. I actually had to do that to the 32X.
Atari 2600 Custer's Revenge, you still have to.
Oh, okay. Well, or the Amiga.
That's part of the experience, though. Like, you're not really playing an NES or one of these classic cartridge-based consoles if you're not blowing into the games every once in a while.
Right. At least on a birthday.
Oh wait, so you gotta educate P-Dubs here. He thinks everybody's hating on him. He just joined. So there's a reason people are just joking with you on this. Because Glenn started the show. If you missed the beginning of the show, Glenn's in orbit.
Look where I am, P-Dubs. Look where I am. I wouldn't practice, P-Dubs. I practiced the Asteroids Deluxe leaderboard score. You got sick. You got a little bitty bug. You didn't do the show. And now no one knows that I got the highest score in Asteroids Deluxe. I went up here, got the ship, which literally cost me, a couple dollars here, man. I can't buy some consoles. So I went up to space, went to the asteroid belt, shot a couple things, got my stuff down, and you did the leaderboard and blew us all off for the week before. You didn't do the leaderboards, man. You didn't do the leaderboards.
All in good fun. He's just busting your chops on this. But so that's why Glenn's in orbit. Yeah. So that's what that's all about. I don't know. Hopefully he's still here and he didn't bug off. But no, I thought that was a good pickup and a little.
Oh, he's still here.
Okay, good. So real quick, there'll be another pickup of the week. It won't be next week because I'm on vacation starting tonight, and I'll be gone till the 10th. It's staycation type thing. But I have some family coming out, and so we won't be doing that next week. But the following week we'll have it. And so my son alluded to this while we were watching the video. Was I paid $15 for Donkey Kong Country Glacier? I think it's called, right? The ice one for the Wii U.
Yeah, I have it on my Switch.
Tropical Freeze or
oh, Tropical Freeze. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I got it for $15, sealed, still in the cellophane. So I didn't realize it till I opened it today. I got it in the mail, and he goes, "Dad, that's still got the plastic on it."
No, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when we had it, we were showing
No,
it
I
to him.
didn't.
He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "No, it didn't." Yeah, he was standing right there. And I said, "So now I'm thinking I'm gonna have to buy another copy." I said, "We'll look tomorrow and see if they have one that's open, because now I don't want to open it."
Yeah, because you just you're like, digging into it, and I'm like, Dad, it has the seal. It has
See?
the-
He's like, no, I didn't. And I was like, yeah, I was in it. Yeah, you did say that. So, so now I'm not gonna open it because I wanted to play it. Now I'm gonna wait. So that's something I'm gonna have to look for tomorrow. So that might be on my next pick of the week. But we have a lot of good stuff that we picked. So
the moment you realize you just messed up.
yeah, no, I don't want to open it. That's that moment.
Whoopsie doodle.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. So let's transition now. Let's talk a little bit about AtGames, right? So AtGames, first off, let's kind of show this. So this week with the leaderboards, we won't be having a show this Wednesday, but we'll be doing it the following week. But this week is the leaderboard challenge. So Glenn, I'm really hoping to see a huge score from you, from Lunar Lander.
Hey, you know what? I'll probably get a good one, Lunar Lander, and it probably will never show the light of day on your show.
So I've never heard of any of these other three games. So Glenn, maybe you can kind of shed some light on.
You ever heard of Canyon Bomber? Really?
I've never heard of Canyon Bomber, Astro Fantasia, or Congo's Caper. But Lunar Lander I did.
The Congo Caper I never played, but the other three I have. Lunar Lander is a good game. If I get a score, man, I'm going to look on your show and just see it not being there.
I don't know. P-Dubs will do you right. I think he'll
I'm
get
already
you
in
on.
my ship. I'm in my ship now, so I guess I can go over to the moon right now and practice. But
There you go. I mean, you're legitimately the best person for the job to
That's right.
do some moon landing right now.
That's right.
I
But
don't know if anyone knows the show of the ship I'm in. This thing crashes a lot. Just saying, these things crash like pezzes.
But they also released this week some independent indie tables for your AtGames Legends. Now, that really does not appeal to me. I don't want to play pinball games on my stand-up arcade. But for those that just have a stand-up arcade, they want to. So there's been a lot of controversy. And we're not going to get into the tables because we did that on Legends Center. But there's been controversy going on in the community about why or how AtGames could have done that. That's illegal. They shouldn't be doing that. And we did some research here, and I want to pull up something here that has to do with open source. The question is, can open source software be used in a commercial purpose? Absolutely. All open source software can be used for commercial purposes. The open source definition guarantees this. You can even sell open source software. However, note that commercial is not the same as proprietary. If you receive software under an open source license, you can always use that software for commercial purposes, but that doesn't always mean you can place further restrictions on people who receive the software from you. In particular, copyleft style open source licenses require that in at least some cases, when you distribute the software, you must do so under the same licenses of that you received it under. So I'm not going to go through. There's some other stuff here, like, can I restrict how people use the open source license program? No, you can't. Can I stop evil people from using the program? No. And the definitions are here, so you guys can read it on your own time. But the reason I wanted to bring this up is because people were saying, well, and I know a personal YouTuber got attacked for doing a video because of this. And Doug, you and I, we were discussing this before Glenn got on, because Glenn was flying in from orbit. There's nothing. They're getting independent tables. They're putting it on here. They got their blessing. They got the licenses. Steve Nostalgia has been doing an awesome job with them. What's the big deal?
Well, I think it's just, a confusion around, what open source means and what you can do about it. It's really no different than, let's say, like Arcade 1-Up, on their older cabinets, they had MAME running some of their games and they sold those commercially. So it's the same kind of concept. I mean, you can sell open source software with some, degree of, I don't know, I'm trying to think of the appropriate verbiage, but you can do it. You just got to make sure you dot your I's, cross your T's, and obviously AtGames did their due diligence and they made sure to do that. Everything was on the up and up for these pinball tables.
And Glenn, what about you back in orbit there? Are you I can't believe this is even something that's going on. What he's motioning something.
But no, I got to make sure. I'm just Checking the radars, my friend.
Oh, okay.
These Starlink satellites that Elon Musk has, they're all over the place.
Well, so in all of this, I actually reached out to AtGames, and I wanted to get an official statement from them on this because, honestly, you get a lot of people in the community that think they know everything. Not that we know anybody like that. And so I didn't want it to be like, this is our opinion. This is straight from the horse's mouth. So they were kind enough to give us this official statement. And this is the official statement from AtGames here that states, we have worked closely with the visual pinball community and are abiding by the terms of use. The 4 pinball tables themselves have been distributed with the permission of the creators. We plan to continue collaborating with the community to bring forth new original tables. So you guys can take that to the bank. AtGames isn't doing anything shady or underhanded or anything that any other company is allowed to do, as long as they're partnering, and they're doing it by communicating with these guys. So, Glenn, what's your take?
Well, that was the key point. Is you're not going to get a visual pinball table of a Star Wars or Back to the Future. These are going to be original designs from the creators, and they've been reaching out to those creators to make these tables, and it's a lot of work. So when you do something along those lines, there really shouldn't be any issue at all. It's an original work of art. Basically, it is art, in my opinion, that they have basically been given permission to put on the machine. I don't believe that the Pinball X is going to really allow for just pretty much installing regular pinball tables. It's going to be kind of restricted, I guess is the right word, because if I understand everything correctly, it's all running virtually on their servers. You're just basically downloading some component and going into their system online. You have to have an internet connection. If you lose your internet connection, you're not going to be able to play the Pinball X. So I think this is actually, once again, just a way of showing how the Legends Ultimate is the Tesla of these arcade machines. They're constantly adding new features that were never even there, or probably even thought about, to be quite honest, about the community. It's the community that has really been.
And we lost communication with Glenn.
No.
He's still there, but he's kind of frozen, or he hasn't dropped.
Oh wait.
I mean, it's impressive that he had a signal this long.
He's frozen in space.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those Tesla satellites that he was worried about, one of those Elon Musk Starlink ones that he was complaining about being everywhere. Maybe it finally took out his ship.
We're gonna have to see what happens here if he's able to make it back. Maybe Doug, maybe you could send him a message and say, "Hey, you're frozen in time. You gotta refresh it here."
Oh, someone said Glenn's stuck in orbit.
Yeah, Glenn is stuck in orbit. But I wanted to clear the air because listen, I understand some people, they might not, agree with certain people. They might not agree, but listen, facts are facts. You can't argue with the facts, and I wanted to put that out there to everybody out there. And I'm not going to go into what YouTuber the problem was. It's not important. Stop PMing me. I'm not going to tell you it's not important. The important thing is that you get the facts. And if people want to hate on you because you're giving facts, well, then so be it. Then you can hate on me. That's fine. But we wanted to kind of get that out while we're working on getting Glenn back. The other thing we have here.
He just messaged me. He got hit by a comet. He's doing some evasive action. He's on red alert, and he's trying to get back in.
Oh, my goodness.
So many things happening.
Yeah, there's. Let me see if I can put Daniel.
This is why we need a space force. We need to protect. Glenn. Floating around there.
Yeah, let me.
And so I can relive my dream of being a Starship Trooper.
So I got this. There we go. So until Glenn gets back here. So let's talk about the next debacle that's been going around, right? So it's no secret, we got review units, you and I, and Glenn, from Arcade 1-Up for the NBA Jam. And we had requested to try to get them early. And unfortunately, how circumstances played out, we weren't able to due to COVID and everything else. Because this debacle was something that we wanted to squash in the event it happened, before it happened. And KO Daikin and Nostalgia, P-Dubs, Dave, what's his name? Game Genie. I can't think of his first name, but Michael B, the Game Genie. And then you got Detroit Love. They all were testing with KO Daikin, and they were streaming and showing the camera on their screen and showing Doug that they were each in different parts of the game when streaming this online, and proving and showing the Code Mystics that there was a problem. So before you go hating on Arcade 1-Up, Arcade 1-Up didn't make the ROM. They didn't make the, so let's understand that. Right.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean, hate on Code Mystics. It happened, right? It's bugs in software. It's how it happens. So I am happy to report last night, if you did not catch it, P-Dubs was refereeing a game with Keodaikin. I believe it was Nostalgia. Dave, I keep saying want to say Dave, but it's Mike B and Game Genie, and Detroit Love. And it looked like, I caught the end of it. It looked like everything, Doug, seemed to be a little bit more back in sync from from the initials. Did you experience this from the get-go? Were you playing with anybody that could actually see the screen that had this problem?
I personally, no, I wasn't, because that lack of being able to communicate with who you're playing with. I'm just operating under the assumption that what I see on my screen is what the other person sees on their screen. So when I've been playing online, I've been having a relatively good experience. The only time I have issues sometimes is when I have like 3 other people join in, and every once in a while one of those fourth persons drags it down, and it's a weird thing, because I have sent them a screenshot, because there's a couple of them that are followers of my channel, and I follow them on other social media, and I said, hey, here's a screenshot. It said, you got 1 bar red, red signal or whatever, and they sent me a screenshot, and theirs said full bars all green. So I was like, okay, there's definitely something going on in the back end that I don't understand, because we're both playing the same game, but we're seeing 2 different things. So that was the only time I actually got any kind of clue that this was kind of going on.
And I know, Daniel, you and I had the issue where we ran into a problem where we were playing the game, and after you would score a point, if you're playing online, the computer would take control over both of our characters. And I know there's a setting in there that you can turn that off to where you still have full control, but it still happened. Even if you turned it off, they still had control. It somehow had control, and you had to like wiggle the joystick in order to get it.
What, on NBA Jam?
To get it back on NBA Jam.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, my Switch has problems.
Well, yeah, your Switch is a whole new thing, but that was something that we experienced, and the carrots would disappear on top. I don't know if you saw that, but the carrots with the numbers, they would disappear as well. So that was something that we were not.
The computer takes over you.
So I reached out, and I was talking with Keodaikin, and I was talking with Nostalgia, because they're working with Code Mystics, and rather than a bunch of us just bombard these guys with like, hey, we'd like some information. Obviously, we want to have accurate information. Nostalgia put together a really nice document here that Doug, myself, and I know Glenn have, that we can report to you guys of things that are being worked on. And obviously, they're playing with beta software. This is not released yet. We have no ETA on a release. I know they're trying to tighten some things up, but
the purpose of beta software is so you can find all the extra bugs and work out those kinks before it becomes an alpha.
So, Doug, why don't you share a little bit about some of the firmware fixes that they have at the top that we can all look forward to coming?
Oh, sorry, I had to reopen it up.
No worries.
So we get a new grayscale for cloned characters. So those instances where you get like 2 Sean Kemps, you'll have 1 in color and 1 in grayscale. That way your grayscale, the entire character uniform, the player, so you can easily differentiate, because when you're playing one of those teams, again, like the Sonics with Sean Kemp, and you got them both on the court at the same time, it gets a little confusing to figure out who's who, especially if you're playing with a friend, because you literally like, wait, which one am I controlling? Because both characters look identical.
Right.
But that's one thing. You're going to have a little bit of a black and white look, so that'll be interesting. Says, if playing online against someone and the player rage quits or leaves early, you will gain control of that character. If you're playing against 2 opponents online, that orphaned character will fall over, and the player who's still on fall over to the player who is still on his team's control. So if someone bails on you, it's going to leave a motionless character, so to speak. So if you're playing 2-on-2, somebody bails on the other team, that person is going to be dead in the water. The other person on that team, so player, let's say hypothetical player 3, could physically control player 4 if he still wanted to put a game together, but it does create an issue with still making it really a non-competitive game because that second person on the other team is essentially trying to control two characters at once and is obviously not going to do very well against two other human players.
Right.
Lastly, there was if you're assigned control of an orphan player, you will now the text on this. You will now be told in the pop-up message that announces the other user's departure. Okay. And then a kick option has been removed for online play, meaning you can no longer kick someone from a session. This was implemented to prevent people from abusing this during gameplay, which is great because, people are going to try to pad their record by kicking somebody that was,
right,
either dragging them down or just not playing. Maybe they weren't passing the ball or they were, I don't know. For whatever reason, somebody didn't like somebody. They were kicking them off the game unnecessarily.
And then we have at the bottom some of the bug fixes.
Yeah. So it says corrected an official bug for the original Midway ROM of Tournament Edition where Elliot and Hori's team assigned reflected a trade that never happened, which that really isn't a bug. That was a thing that was always in the game. It's something that people always freak out because they see Robert Horry's jersey on the wrong team and they're like, wait a minute, they get the wrong picture. It's like, no, that was a trade that was supposed to happen that almost happened in real life and it just got negated. It fixed the potential desync when a 3-inch or 4-inch player joined. Oh, sorry, not 3-inch.
A third or fourth player.
Sorry,
that's
I'm looking at my phone.
This is why I printed out because it's so hard to read off the phone.
That's just a 3-inch report. Fix the potential for a desync when third or fourth player joined the game session before while entering the initials at the start. If joining user had seasoned gameplay record, the latency was present. Fix problem where games might not be joinable every second 10-minute interval after starting. Fixed a case where other people might sometimes be dropped at the same time a fourth user leaves. That's an interesting one. Stop main menu from gratuitously restarting sometimes if you change the leaderboard option between everyone and favorites. So definitely some little nuanced things that were going on in the background.
So this is something that these guys are working on. There's going to be more things that are going to be added to this, but this is what we've got right now. So I want to say a huge thank you to the Game Room dudes. I think that's what they're calling themselves now. They do a show every Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Dang, I got to remember all these times. P-Dubs hosts all that over there. Go check it out. They'll have more information for you guys, but I asked them if it was okay if I could share a little bit. We could share a little bit of this on the show today to kind of let you know that, look, they're working on it. They've got a couple of guys, and like Doug said, and I think they said it in the chat, nobody would have known had you been able to set up a camera, and that was one of the things I know we were looking to do, because otherwise, like Doug said, you're not going to know if you're playing somebody that's out of sync and out of time. You're just not without a camera.
Yeah. You don't have the ability to live chat or see the other person, so you just operate under the assumption that everybody else is having the exact same experience you are. And that was one of those things people were giving me all sorts of flack. They're like, "Oh, he's lying about his experience." It's like, no, I'm having a good experience. I'm sorry that you're having a bad experience, but I am blissfully unaware because I can't see your side of the screen. So it's interesting that you're finally getting some feedback on what is going on all four users while they're in the game.
Yeah, and I'd encourage you. I know K.O. Dyken, he has a bunch of videos that he's been uploading. I've had some conversations with him. Go to his YouTube channel, just type in K.O. Dyken. He might even be in the chat room here that you can, he can put his link in there. You guys can check it out, or any of the other guys for that matter. I encourage you guys to subscribe to them. Like I said, they are working with Code Mystics and Arcade 1UP to hopefully bring a resolution to it. And that's all we wanted to do. We're not hating on anybody here. We just kind of wanted to talk about the elephant in the room that everybody's been talking about. And it looks like Glenn is back from his... Glenn, your ship is on fire.
It's a Glenn.
I told you, those Starlink satellites are everywhere, and one hit me, and it took me out there for a second. So my transmitter is not working very well here. I'm having a lot of faulty issues.
Wow, you're having a lot of faulty issues there with...
I am. It's bad, but, I'll survive. It's getting a little hot.
Well, on that note, I'm going to turn it over to Daniel here, as he has a report on an interesting new game that's coming.
Hey, so, this coming game, it's Battletoads. It's a new game. It's available on August 20th, 2020, okay? So, it's, coming soon to the Xbox Game Pass, and Xbox One, Windows 10 PCs.
So that's going to be coming shortly. And actually, we have a trailer that we could show you guys. And again, this one does not have audio. So, and I did that on purpose because I didn't know this one if we were going to get into trouble. Yeah, we wanted to make sure that we weren't going to get nailed for any kind of copyright. So we're just going to kind of talk over this.
Yeah.
Doug, Glenn, what's your take? It looks pretty good from what I've saw.
Yeah. So I actually got to test this out at E3 last year. I waited in line for over 2 hours to finally get to play this because this is the first time we've had a Battletoads game in forever. They've been doing, some slight cameos in other games, but an actual dedicated Battletoads. It's been a long, long time. So I was super excited to see them come back. This was originally supposed to come out last fall, and it just didn't come out. And everyone was wondering if it got canceled because it was radio silence for a long time. What was going on? Obviously, the art style has drastically changed, but the core mechanics are all there. You got your crazy, difficult vehicle levels that we're seeing right now, but we also got side-scrolling beat-em-up action. We got 3-player co-op. I had a blast when I played the demo at E3. I don't mind the new art style. I'm anxious to get this. I was worried that this may have been canceled because when the Xbox did their little game live stream was it like 2 weeks ago, revealing all their new games, everyone expected this to be announced and it never got announced. And I was like, oh my gosh, maybe this did get canceled. I mean, we haven't heard anything about this in like 6-7 months. And the moment of truth when it was supposed to get announced didn't happen. So I had unfortunately started getting a little worried that it maybe got kicked to a wastebasket, but it looks like we're finally going to get it August 20th, and I am super pumped.
Do you think it'll land on other platforms besides Xbox, or do you think it's just going to simply stay to? Whoops! Is it going to just stay to? I
think it's going to be Xbox. Xbox, Windows,
exclusive.
Steam. Yeah, I don't think it's going to go to PlayStation. I don't think Nintendo, since it's Rare Studios, they partner with Microsoft pretty much exclusively for the most part. So I think that's where it's going to stay.
Yep, Nintendo had their chance with Rare.
Yeah, they did.
But I got to say, the game looks phenomenal. It actually reminds me a little bit of Day of the Tentacle. If anyone remembers that, it was a Lucasfilm game based off Maniac Mansion, just that art style. But it looks really, really good, and I'm dying to play that one. It looks really fun.
I'm glad to see you got the fire taken out.
I did. There's a fire suppression system in here, so it worked out pretty well. But man, Elon, dude, you got to tell me where these stupid satellites are. He's got thousands of them up here and just whack me.
So I want to put up a comment here from Complete Geek TV. Give me a second here. I'll put that up there, where he says, we just finished a video on Battletoads. We commented that our friend Greg played it. Awesome. So Complete Geek TV, go ahead and put your link in there if everybody wants to go check out the video. Again, guys, we're okay if you put your links in here. It's a community show. We want people to, talk with each other. I mean, that's how you get the information out there.
Pump up your channel, pump up your website.
Yeah,
let us know.
we're okay.
Put it out there.
Just as long as during the show you're not just flooding it with links and we have no comments that we can't go to.
Unless it's an Atari links, in which case go for it.
Well, okay, we'll let that go. Yeah, go ahead, Daniel.
Glenn, don't encourage him to do that, or else
He knows me too well.
Or else we won't have any comments to read. So do not do that.
It's always an adventure every week when we see where Glenn's gonna be. It's interesting.
He's in his own little world.
Yeah.
Okay, so
people like me here. It's good.
So here's a comment from Restalgia. He said, there's an awesome YouTuber named Restalgia that you guys should plug. He's pretty handsome, too. So anyways,
and
you guys...
he's also modest to boot. He's
very, very humble guy. But he does, so P-Dub's got the spreadsheet thing down. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll switch to my camera real quick. Restalgia actually formatted this. Let me see if I know. I got studio lights, so it's hard. There we go. He actually formatted this, and the guys can tell you he did a really good job just for the show. I didn't have to do any of that. He sent me a document. He says, here you go. He put it all up, the things that we could talk about, that we were allowed to talk about. So yeah, Scott J. He says, yeah, that Restalgia guy is also very humble. Ask him, he'll tell you. So, and Complete Geek TV will grab your comment right quick. He said, thanks,
Yeah.
guys. We literally just finished filming, but haven't edited the video. We appreciate the thought, though. The game looks cool. So, okay, so if they didn't get it uploaded yet, go subscribe to the channel. And these are the guys that you went to their place to do the toy unboxing, isn't it?
Fantastic
Okay, so
guys,
I
yeah.
subscribed to those guys a while back. You guys, if you like Doug's stuff with the toys, Doug's cameo on their channel
So if
sometimes.
you want to basically part with your money, go sign up.
Yeah, so between these guys, I haven't showed my son their channel yet because they did something. Doug, you were there for the Ghostbusters unboxing. They, I think, what are they, like $20 a? Well,
Yeah,
actually, they're probably more
$20.
than that. Yeah, are they $20? Because he'll want the whole collection too, and so I'll be broke again. So yeah, so thanks, guys. Appreciate Complete Geek TV for making me broke again. Between you and Doug,
No, but it's a great channel. It's a great channel.
it is very, very high level.
You're rude. You're rude. Rude
See,
alert.
of course, he doesn't like it because it's gonna be that. But yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap this up here because we're gonna go into post show. So again, I want to thank Doug for being on here, Mr. Cool Toy himself. And what new videos have we got? Wait! You had a big reveal. Can I pull that up while you're?
Sure, I mean,
Are you
do
sure?
whatever
We okay with that?
Yeah, I don't care.
I almost forgot. I
I'm
just.
not nostalgia. You don't have to massage my ego.
So hang on, I gotta pull it up here. I gotta. So on the Battletoads thing, I'll let Doug talk about it. I'll just pull up the picture. There we go.
Oh yeah. So I like Battletoads a lot.
I would have never guessed.
Yeah, I like this game a lot. And
No.
my Battletoads cabinet I made a long time ago has been literally patiently waiting for this day to come. Like I said, this game was supposed to come out in 2019, and I loved playing the game at E3, and I wanted to do a modded Xbox One arcade 1-up build. So I did one, and it's been sitting for a while because the game has never came out. I've been, living vicariously through my Battletoads obsession. I've been playing things like Killer Instinct, the new one on Xbox One, so I could play as that Battletoad character. I've been playing the rare replay disc that has both Battletoad game as well as a bunch of older classic rare titles on the Xbox One, and that's been getting me by. But I've really built this for the sole purpose of playing that Battletoads new game. So I'm excited to finally put that cabinet to its paces and to its purpose on August 20th, and I'll show you all the details and the behind the scenes of what that build looks like later on when that game finally gets released.
I'm excited because I want to see how he puts that together. So make sure you subscribe to Doug's channel, youtube.com/cooltoy. And then we also want to thank Doug. Now, Glenn, you can't go flying off now. We're going to go into post show here. So
I understand.
okay.
But I don't know if I can land yet because I took some pretty good damage here. But I do want to give a shout out to my friend Willie over at Arcade USA. I don't know how he got it. I do not know how he got it, but he's got one of the first Basic Fun Deluxe Space Invader games. Now this is the one where the Space Invaders has the mirror and it reflects off the back glass. And it actually looks like that Basic Fun is, I can't say for certain, I don't have it in my hands, but it looks like Basic Fun went with the arcade ROM. If it's not, it's a very good rendition. The sound sounds perfect. The animations look perfect. It's got the back glass with the invaders projected onto them. I don't know how I went to all the stores, I couldn't find it. So if you want to see this machine, go take a look at Arcade USA on YouTube and check out Willie's video. It's a great looking machine. I mean, I gotta have it. I got a 5. Gotta get 'em.
We're definitely going to have to check that out. Absolutely. And you could check out this guy, Mr. Glenn Planamento, by going to youtube.com/gplanamento. And he's been slacking lately. I haven't seen any new videos come. So everybody needs to get on his case.
I'll admit, yeah, I haven't done videos. Work has been, it's been crazy. But I do have some things lined up. So I'm hoping this weekend at least pump out one video.
So there you had it. Yeah, if he doesn't do it, yell at him because he has to do it.
Better yell loud and by the moon.
So, and my son Daniel, well, he's helping me run the techbuzz.net. So somebody's got to help do some content. But we're gonna maybe tomorrow when we go out looking for some games in the morning before my brother gets here in the afternoon. Maybe we'll have to do one of those videos like people do where they take the camera and they do like the live stream as they're
Yeah,
going and just
the
record
hunt.
it together. Yeah, the hunt. I think that would be cool
Mhm.
for him and I to do that. So you'll have to stay tuned for some of that as we do some more combined stuff, right? Do you have fun? You glad to be back?
Yeah.
You have fun?
Feels weird not being at baseball.
Yeah. The first thing he did is like, wow, it feels weird sitting here. So
I don't know what to do with
I'm
my
not
hands.
used to it. I have to get used to it again.
yeah, I know it's a lot. But guys, we really appreciate you tuning in. For those that are sticking around, please stick around. We'll put up the phone line. You guys can call in any of your questions that you have with your arcade one-ups, your AtGames, anything you didn't think we covered or would like to hear. We'd like to hear from you. You can find out, go subscribe, The Tech Buzz on YouTube, or thetechbuzz.net has everything. If not, remember, we won't have a show next week. We're going to enjoy the time off, refresh, recharge, get some new segments going, and really pump up the show.
I feel a cold coming on. I can't do next week.
Yes, there won't be a Legend Center either this week. But the AtGames Summer is still going. And if you missed anything...
Oh, wait a second. Hold the phone. You're not
What?
doing the Legend Center. So I'm going to do Lunar Lander this week, and you're not doing the Legend Center again? It's a setup.
No,
You're setting me up.
no, I'm
Setting
going
me
to
up.
listen.
I do asteroid.
No.
Lunar Lander.
P-Dubs-
It's both. I get it.
P-Dubs is still here. I'll make sure that he takes both things and combines them both weeks. You hear that, P-Dubs? Both weeks, combining them for Legend Center the following week. So, especially now, that's assuming Glenn gets first place. We'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
We'll see. He
See
might
if I
not hit
crash
it.
my eagle.
But listen, if you don't know what goes on in Legend Center, here's a little snippet, and we'll see you guys in the post show, and we'll see you next week.
Firmware update, your Pixelcade marquee will be able to work natively with the games included on the AtGames Legends Ultimate, Steven. That's right. So if you have a Pixelcade marquee, it will work with the AtGames Legends Ultimate on July 1st. That is the big holiday July 4th update. But it's going to be able to do a few other things, Steven, which you're going to have to wait until next week, and I'll show you that. But for right now, get hyped.
You set me up
And
on that, because that's not what it says here on the notes.
Yeah, it does. It does.
No, it says, Steven, talk about firmware update Bluetooth headset. And I wrote no.
I swear, it's on there. It says, talk about the Pixelcade.
It's so hard to find good writers. We need better writers.
Want to qualify to win a Legends Gamer or Legends Ultimate? Participate in the Summer League event, and you may be able to do just that. Current Legends Ultimate owners can participate in the 10-week Summer League event, starting June 5th, 2020, and ending August 9th, 2020. During that time, there'll be a series of weekend leaderboard events for select games each week. This is a battle to the end. Practice up, make your scores count, and top the charts once and for all, and have a beauty of a prize to show for your hard work. Have fun on the leaderboards, and good luck.